Do I push end now because I've already shown myself? Open live stream in new window. Here we go. Hi, my friends. Yes, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's. Live stream in new window. Here we go. Hi, my friends. Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-ba-dum. You can hear me. Hello, my friends. So great to see everyone. Hello, my mighties. Hello, my friends from Facebook Live. And now we're on Rumble and YouTube and X. So I'm seeing people from everywhere. It's wonderful to see you all. Hello, my friends. My name is Joette Calabrese. For those of you who don't know me, and we do one thing and one thing only here every single Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and that is we study homeopathy. I teach you what I know. I give you tips and hints and clues and ideas so that you can be a better prescriber for yourself and your family. And for those of you who do know me, hi, friends. Hello from Texas, says Peggy, and Oregon, and Angela. And more Oregon, wonderful. Hi, Bob and Deb Dunbar. Wonderful to see you. Yeah, hi, Leanne and Tina. Hi, everyone. It's just wonderful. Are you still seeing hearing an echo? You shouldn't be hearing an echo at this point. I'm hoping that has ended. Tell me if you're still hearing an echo, because it was happening from this end. Hello, my friends. Today we're going to talk about something that's plaguing a lot of folks right now. Why? Because it's the change of season. A bit of tunnel sound. There's a little bit of tunnel sound. No echo. No, yes echo. No echo. I don't know. Let's just assume that you can hear, at least if you can hear the content, that's what's important. You sound good. Okay, good. I sound good. Wonderful. Hi, Nancy from Ontario. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about allergies, but a certain kind of allergy, the allergies that affect the eyes and the nose. There are many allergies, my friends. We can also get allergies that affect the mucosal membrane, that affect, the lips, the tongue, the uvula, the throat, those mucosal. Okay, sounds perfect. Good, thank you. No echo, no echo. No echo, 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 said someone. That we're being very specific because I'm getting lots of calls about this, and it's actually something that I've suffered with. I have it a little here and there now. A few years ago when we first moved to Florida, it really plagued me horribly. My eyes swelled and itched, and I talked about it on my Monday Night Live so that people could learn from me and my sufferings, because it was something that I'd had a little bit throughout the years in my life. 40 years ago I had it, and then all of a sudden moving to Florida, it came back again. So I wanted to share that with you, and I want you to know what I use for myself and what I help others use. And one of the most, well, first of all, let me start with this. If you look in my Materia Medica, for those of you who have my Materia Medica, if you don't have it and you're interested in it, let me stand over here, set it up here so there's not much glare. You can purchase this on Joette's Learning Center. And I don't go into it very deeply in these particular medicines, but it is very clear what we're talking about, what I'm talking about. So what I see is one of the most valuable medicines let me see, how should we start this? I think we're going to start with Ambrosia. Ambrosia, just the way it sounds. Ambrosia, which is a ragweed. It's a certain kind of ragweed. There are different kinds of ragweeds. And it's and the reason I start with this is not because someone needs to be allergic to ragweed. But it mimics when someone is responding to ragweed, often this is what happens. So whether someone is actually frankly allergic to ragweed or has no allergy to grasses, but just has itchy eyes, itchy nose, runny nose, swollen eyes even, scratchy eyes. A lot of times the lids are the lid itself is very itchy, and it's right along where the eyelashes are. Very, very uncomfortable. I know because I've had it. Ambrosia. And I love ambrosia as a general remedy that is specific for spring and fall. So when the allergies are worse in spring or fall, and fall, it could be and fall or fall, I automatically think of ambrosia. And it's Ambrosia artemisiae foliae. You don't need the whole word, but just know that it's ambrosia. And it's very specific for itchy, watery eyes. Now, do the eyes have to be itchy and watery? No, they needn't be both. They can be just itchy. They can be just lacrimating. But if it's both, you're probably dying to get at that ambrosia. It is a very useful medicine, and I usually use it in a 30th potency, and I buy it from OHM Pharma. And my clients and my students can do the same. But if you're not a client or a student, then you certainly can buy it from Boron, and it's a little blue tube like this. Let me just make sure I've gotten everything. It's common ragweed, especially for watery eyes. Now, I've always had watery eyes. And let me put it to you this way. I think I've said this before. I don't look to take homeopathic medicines. That's not my goal. My goal is to just live my life. I don't want to spend time figuring it out because it's not bad enough. If it's bad enough, then I will repertorize. Then I will look at my protocols or consider my protocols. But I will not just treat because something happens to be there. Instead, I'd rather just, if I put up with it, it's not a big problem, then I just live with it. It's not bothering me. Now, when it gets very problematic, then by all means, I'm going to use it. So, it can be a reaction to any pollen, not just ragweed. And I want you to remember this. Now, I also want to tell you, those of you who are in my Mighties group, no, tonight we're going to stay longer. So I usually finish at exactly half the hour at 8:30 Eastern time. That's for Facebook and everyone else and Rumble and YouTube, etc. But tonight we're going longer. I have time to do this tonight. I don't have a class that I'm teaching tonight, so I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to meet up with my Mighties. That's Joette's Mighty members for you. For those of you who have been our members, I like to be able to do this every once in a while. If you're not a member, then join. You get lots of little extra benefits, and it's a rather inexpensive way for me to stay in touch with folks and being able to say things that I wouldn't otherwise discuss on a forum such as this. So, ambrosia is my first choice, or at least one of the grand considerations, 30C. How frequently? How frequently would we use it? Well, I start out when it's an acute condition such as this, and it is an acute, even though it's something that comes on over and over throughout the years or through the seasons. I start with thinking approximately about every 6 to 12 hours apart. But if someone takes this ambrosia or any of these medicines I'm going to discuss tonight, and we see that it's helping some, but that within 3 hours, right back again. Now we know it's a 3-hour interval, and we need to use it every 3 hours. Then as it improves, 3 hours, let's say it's 9 in the morning, 12 noon, 3 in the afternoon, 6 o'clock, feeling good. Things are moving along. No more suffering. Go to bed, maybe one more dose before bed next morning. How does the person feel? If there's no concern, it's not there, it's simply gone, and it often works like that, my friends. Don't repeat it. We're going to use it as needed and not when we don't. So use these medicines only as they're needed. This is not like a vitamin for anyone who's new. It's not like taking a vitamin or supplement where you just take it because. This is not a because. This is we're taking these medicines when they act. If they're not acting, it's time to abort and reconsider, go to a different medicine. So this is my all-time overall medicine for the condition of itchy, watery, sometimes scratchy eyes and itchy nose. Ambrosia, Artemisia folia. Ambrosia is good enough, 30C. All right, the next medicine that I love is very, very specific to the eyes. Even though Ambrosia has the nose and even the throat a little bit, the one that is the most specific to the eyes is my next favorite, which is Euphrasia. And Euphrasia is spelled with an E. Euphrasia. Euphrasia officinalis. Excellent medicine. Again, also in my Materia Medica, and you'll find, I'll tell you what page it's on in a moment. Euphrasia is on page 61, and that is often for burning watery eyes. Now, they don't have to be burning, but if there is burning, Euphrasia is a good medicine. It's also great for colds and whatever is ailing you that feels like the eyes are related to are associated, to what's going on. Euphrasia is a great medicine for conjunctivitis. The conjunctiva, all in here, is all red or swollen and looks infected, and maybe there's a discharge. Euphrasia. I like it, again, in the 30th potency. Yes, it is eyebright. Eyebright is the botanical name for it, and we can also purchase it in botanical, in a liquid form. Now, this happens not. Oh, yes, it is. It is Euphrasia. This happens to be potentized into a 30C, but you can also buy it in gross form, meaning that it's still in the material form. And being in the material form, you're not going to drop it directly in the eyes if it still is in alcohol. So you're going to have to dilute that. And usually I dilute it 1:19 or 1:20, which means it's 1 drop of the Euphrasia tincture in alcohol to 19 drops of water, and then mix it and then drop it into the eyes. Unnecessary, though, my friends. You don't even have to go that far. But if that's all you've got, I want you to know what your choices are. It is great for colds, for flus. It's also used for a cough that's associated with that. Unimportant at this point. Just want to mention that it has lots of great ability. All righty. Now let me see what else I've got here. The next medicine I want you to consider, and if you have any of these conditions, I want you to at least own this medicine, and it is Histaminum. Yes, histamine, but it's homeopathic. Histaminum, Histaminum. Histaminum. And I like that in a, excuse me, perhaps I need this. Histaminum, I like it, again, I like it in a 6C, and I like it in a 30C. Again, that can also be alternated. And anytime there's an overhistamine reaction, whether it's the eyes that are runny and itchy and scratchy, or the nose is itchy and runny, or the lips are swollen and there's the uvula is swollen, the mucosa is swollen, there's a bee sting, any kind of histamine reaction, this is not a primary, I consider it kind of a backup. It's the harmony to the melody. It helps out. And so it's important to own because you may need this in addition to some of these other medicines. Someone gets a bee sting. We know that Histaminum could help if there's an allergic reaction. A better choice would be Allium or apis. But Histaminum is right there holding the harmony in the background. It's the singers in the background that are woo, 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 and the main singer is singing the melody. Think of Histaminum in that fashion. Now, let's say you have Histaminum and you don't have the medicine that you need, the main medicine, the lead singer. Does that mean you don't use Histaminum? It does not mean that in the least. You use always, the general rule of thumb in homeopathy is use what you've got until you can get what you need. You use it. And so, yes, of course, apis. Dry eyes. Well, dry eyes, we're talking mostly about allergies. If we're talking about dry eyes in relationship to allergies so that the eyes are itchy, etc., I still think of Euphrasia. Even though Euphrasia is known for lacrimation, it can also be for the opposite, and that's with dry eyes. Okay. Now I'm going to look at some of your oohs. Really good to be in the background. I love Histaminum plus apis, says Leanne. Yeah, they're a great combo. Are they a duet? Yeah, maybe they're a duet. I still think of Histaminum as not the lead singer. Okay. Any liquor store we've been in has ever... Okay, so you're talking about making these tinctures, and you're talking about Everclear. Interesting. I would not... Tracy's asking Leanne if you would mix them together. I would not mix them together. I would alternate them a few minutes apart. Euphrasia or apis, and then Histaminum. Apis, Histaminum, like that. That's the way I would look at it. But I will also tell you that even when we use something like these medicines, we often don't even need it. You can still sing the melody without the harmony, my friends, but in certain circumstances, it's great to have both. All righty. Now I want to talk to you about something that is a real time saver. But I think it will give you some depth into understanding how to look at homeopathy hopefully in a slightly different way. And that is by using a combination medicine. And this is one. Now, I'm going to tell you, let's see, do I have it right here in front? Allergy Calm, which is also called Rhinallergy, R-H-I-N allergy. They often change the names. Don't ask me why. But I have to tell you, my friends, I am not paid to do this. You need to know that. I just like this product. Now, what's fascinating about this product is you can get this. It's boron, B-O-I-R-O-N. You can see it at the bottom there in that yellow. It's boron. And I like boron's combination products. I like OHM's combination medicines. I like Hahnemann's combinations. I don't know if Highlands is making combinations right now. I like the combination medicines from the pharmacies that I hold in high regard. I also trust Hahnemann Pharmacy in San Francisco area, and I also trust Helios. Now, does that mean that there are others that are the others are no good? No, it does not mean that at all. It means that I need to know who I'm working with, and I've gotten to know each of these companies in a very tight way, and so because of that, then I can feel more comfortable sharing that with you. So, yeah, Allergy Calm comes in pellets, yes, yeah, and it's a wonderful product. It's real. Now you pay a little bit more for this, but boy, is it convenient. It comes in. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm doing a commercial for boron right now. It comes in this kind of a container. Can you see that? The glare is kind of... So what's nice about this is that when someone is skeptical of homeopathy and you show them one of these, they're accustomed to looking at these kinds of things. And then, of course, you just press it out in the back. And you can get this card and toss it in your purse and help those at the next church picnic, at the next school gathering, at the next family event, and have that on hand. That's what I like about this product, Allergy Calm. Now, what's in Allergy Calm? And I always encourage you folks to do this. I think it's important that you know what's in anything you purchase. And I always say, I'm going to be a little facetious right now, but when you're buying groceries, that's the one time I don't want you reading ingredients. Don't read ingredients when you're buying food. Why? Because if you're reading ingredients, you're buying something someone else has already made. You don't want that. You only want food that you make. So if it says beef, it's beef. If it's got ingredients because it's been made into, I don't know, a Chinese style beef, you've already lost. If you've lost me, and you've lost your opportunity to eat fully and properly, in my estimation. So we don't want food with ingredients. But when it comes to something like a combination homeopathic medicine or just about anything else, I want you to look at the ingredients. Not only to see what's in it, to check out what could be there that you may not like, but more importantly, I want you to know what's in it, because that will teach you what medicines to be on the watch out that have been useful. If this works for you, you need to know what's in it. So you know, indeed, that medicine, one of these medicines or two or three of them have worked splendidly. So in this medicine, Allergy Calm, is Allium cepa, 5C. Allium cepa is onion. That's when the eyes are watering and they're excoriating and it's burning as the tears drain from the eyes. And from the nose, there's an excoriation in the eyes of the nose, and it's just tearing with lots of burning. Ambrosia, what do you know? Ambrosia's in there. And they put it in a 5C. Then they put in Euphrasia, same thing as what I just taught you. They use a 5C. Histaminum, it's in there also. They use a 9C. Sabadilla, also very good medicine for the nose and the eyes. And Solidago, which is, I pronounce it Solidago, not Solidago. Solidago, S-O-L-I-D-A-G-O, and that is made from golden seal. And that is in a 5C. Now, why do they use such low potencies? I believe they're using low potencies because they're combining them. And it's unnecessary to use a higher potency. And you will find that you'll get a lot of relief pretty quickly from this kind of a product. But once you get relief from it, I want you to figure out which medicine is the one that's doing the best work. Which one or two medicines, because a lot of times it's two medicines. Because as I just told you, Histaminum is not the lead singer generally. It's the backup singer. It's the harmony. And so you could be, while taking this, and Ambrosia's included in there, Euphrasia's included in there, and then in the background is the Histaminum. Those three medicines could be doing excellent work for you. And I want you to know that which one is doing the best work for you. Now, why do I want you to know that? Anybody have any ideas? Solidago. Yes, is golden seal. Anybody have any ideas? The potency for Sabadilla is 5 also, 5C. Why do you think I think it's a good idea for you to know which medicines are working for you? What medicines are in a combination medicine such as this medicine? And which ones might be the ones that are working for you? Let's see if anyone has any ideas so you can make your own if you have to. Thank you very much, Kelly. If this company decides they're not going to manufacture this any longer, now what? So you can take it next. Yes, so you know what to take next. That's also, yes. So you can cure it. Yes, yes. You're all on the mark. You're absolutely doing a fine job. So you can use it alone. Yes, also. You need to know what to use if you can't get the combo. That is my greatest concern. I don't see any reason why they would stop making this, but, you know, there was a time when we had a fabulous medicine made by Highlands for teething. I used it for my children. I raised my babies on that teething combination medicine, and then they took it off the market. Not because it was a problem, but because they were being threatened. And so we know the kind of world in which we live, my friends. So it's a good idea for you to have, yes, conveniences, as well as deep understanding. I want you to have deep knowledge, as deep as you're willing to go. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep your feet to the fire. I think it's important. You are in the vanguard, my friends. I've been saying that to my students lately. You are the ones that are going to change this. You need to teach. Yes, I raised my babies, yes, on Highland teething tablets too. You need to know this, and you need to teach it. You need to teach it to your children, your grandchildren, your neighbors, your friends. Start study groups. Canada is eliminating many homeopathic remedies. I don't know what you mean by that. I've not read anything like that. Yeah, my grandbabies, yes. Yes. Highland, stop making awake and good morning and jet lag. That's why it's important to know what's in these remedies so that you own those medicines. Now, when you purchase the medicines, once you realize what it is that's valuable for you, then, my friends, 30th potency is generally the one that I use. Yes, 30th potency. So even though they're using these in a 5C and in a 9C, I would own them in a 30. Yes, I'm teaching my girls with 13 grandkids. You bet. Yeah, take photos of your package. Absolutely. Yes. And also, OHM has a sinus spray, which seems to have helped my husband. You bet. Those when we're talking about the nose, someone asked earlier, what about the nose? Itchy nose is an important concern too. And itchy nose is the same as we're going to be using Ambrosia and Euphrasia, but mostly Ambrosia. We call Whole Foods what it is, Amazon Foods. It is. Yes. Yes, it is. So Whole Foods is backing out of homeopathy. But, I don't know. I'm not too concerned about it. It does give us a reason to pause. It spurs us on to learn more and faster and get a handle on this and own as many medicines as possible. But it could be a financial decision. It's very easy for someone to grab one of these medicines at a grocery store and slip it in their hand like this and hold on to it, and suddenly it's in their pocket. It's a very easy thing to pilfer. So I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't part of the decision. I've had remedies stolen from me when I've spoken at conferences because the bottles are so small and they can be held in a way that no one would notice. Keep buying your remedies. You bet, Deb. Keep buying your remedies. All righty. Let's see what other questions we have here. Woke foods. You got that right. You got that right. They were the first ones to mask up, my friends. I just stopped going. And if it happens again, I just won't go. I don't go that often anyway. I prefer to buy from farmers, but every once in a while I need to go there and I need to get certain items that I can't get from a farmer. Yeah, they did have a lot of remedies. Yeah, Whole Foods started out in a way that was really with a bang, wasn't it? Do you remember when they first opened up? It was a compelling store, and then they stopped. Non-stop clear nasal dripping, my friends. Non-stop. So if non-stop nasal dripping, if we're talking about it being related to especially the seasons, spring and fall, or especially now in fall, when we have a change of season like this, even though it might still be warm in many places, it's changing. It's warm where I am, but the leaves are just starting to change on many of the trees. Then we want to look at what about watery nasal drip. Is it burning? Is it itching also? We're looking for one more aspect. But if you're looking up nasal dripping and it's just plain not burning, not itching, the nose doesn't itch, nothing else is going, it's just like a faucet, my friends, tell me. I know you know this. I know you know this. Grateful for Joette teaching me about Ignatia when Jimmy Buffett died. Homeopathy to the rescue. You bet. Allium cepa. Allium cepa. Allium cepa is like, yes, it is. It's like a faucet. It's like a faucet. There are others. There's Natmure as well. Allium cepa, though, is one of the best. Think Allium cepa is made from an onion. I mean, they get an onion, and it's crushed, and it's put in alcohol and made into a botanical. For a fortnight, it's held in that suspension in alcohol. And then from there, now it is a tincture of not onion, because once we make a tincture, once we're making a medicine, my friends, we're not calling these medicines by their common names. We want to know exactly what it is. We use the Latin botanical name, Allium, cepa. And so now that is made from there. Let's say it's a 30th potency in a homeopathic pharmacy, all regulated by the FDA. And the reason I make that gesture is because we don't hold the FDA in quite the high regard as we used to many years ago, but nonetheless, it is not underground. None of this is underground, my friends. This is all regulated, highly regulated in all countries. Then it is diluted 30 times, if we're getting Allium cepa, 30C. It's diluted 30 times, C standing for 100, to the 100th time, to the 100th potency. All righty. Fortnight, yep, is 2 weeks. Let's see what other questions we have. Allium cepa, and I like using 30th potencies. Could you use a 12? Certainly. Could you use a 6? Yes. Could you use a 5? Could you use 6? Could you use 12? Could you use 30? Could you use 200? Yes, but 30 is so available, so readily available. And it's really kind of low in the middle of the road. It's an easy medicine to administer. It's an easy medicine to find. It's an easy medicine to see reproducible results, because you can find it readily. You can use it over and over in different people, and then you're getting the picture, and you know that 30C works. Now, if you're using 30C and then another time for another person you're using a 9C, you don't have apples and apples to compare. You're comparing slightly apples to something close to an apple, like a pear, not like a banana. Close, but not quite the same. Because, my friends, potency really, in the long run, does matter. All righty. So for those of you who are mighties, I want you to stay on. I'm gonna step out and then come right back to you. So stay in the mighties paradigm, and I'll be there in a few minutes. And for those of you who are not one of my Joette's Mighty members, I wish you would join us at some point, because it's a nice group, and I do a lot of extras in that group. And so for them, I will say good night to all of you, and I'll see my mighties on the other side in just one moment.
With our homeopathic protocols, you learn all your remedies. My family